I'm going to show you my doll collection because I really love dolls. So, not all of my dolls actually have names, but they're going to have names now, so prepare to hear a lot of names. This is my latest doll. He's a clown, as you can see. Some people think clowns are creepy. I don't think this clown is creepy. My mother thought it was a little girl doll. I thought it was a little boy doll. So this doll gets the name Lillian because I think you can call boys Lillian too. Or maybe, no, Haley. Haley's better because Haley's definitely a gender neutral name. So this one's Haley the Clown. This isn't actually a doll. It's a mărțișor from my grandmother. So mărțișor in Romania are these little tokens that you give each other from the 1st to 8th of March. And they usually have little strings attached that are intermingled white and red threads to symbolize the ending of winter and the beginning of spring. Maybe I can find you a mărțișor. This is it's a little rose quartz pendant. The threads look really messy because this is an old one. As you can tell that the red's not quite very vibrant, but here's the white tassel and, well, this frizz is the red tassel, and then you can see, the intermingling of red and white. So you just give these out to, like, your friends and family, and whenever my grandmother, my Mucha, comes from Romania, she always brings little mărțișor. Well, at least if she comes in the spring. If she comes in the summer, she doesn't. The name? I don't know if she should have a name. You know, she has, like, 2 little plates, like Pippi Longstocking, so her name's now Pippi. Yeah, there we go. So this doll, this little China one, actually, she's pretty cool because I got her from this old lady that used to go to our church. She gave my sister a little doll that looks like this one, but with brown hair and a dark blue dress. I don't have a name for this doll. I think she looks like a Betty. Okay, her name's Betty now. I made little books for them. Aren't they cute? That was fun. This doll right here also doesn't have a name, but she's like the only doll that's made in a sitting position, which makes her very easy to sit. And I got her from a doll sale from 2 old ladies that had like 50 million different dolls. And then they tried to sell my mother a really hyper-realistic looking baby doll, which was kind of creepy. Yeah, but anyhow, I found this doll and she had such a nice face and I really, really loved her. And then I was very sad to find that actually she was also a mass-produced doll, but, oh well. This one's a Lillian. Yes, this doll's called Lillian now. And this is a doll that I got from, I think from the Hungarian festival in Romania, which makes no sense because she's a Romanian doll. Like, you can tell that's the Romanian flag right there. She's wearing the traditional costume. When I do Romanian dancing, I wear actually clothes quite like this, except no hat. And no giant sparkles on my apron. But anyhow. So this is a Romanian doll, so she gets to be called Marietta, because that's the name of my grandma. Oh, goodness. And this is a doll that I got from an antique store in Perth. She's actually a Barbie doll, but clearly she wasn't meant to be played with because she is wearing too gorgeous of an outfit. Her name is Autumn because she is supposed to be representing autumn. You see, she has like sparkly fall leaves on her hat, on her giant, fabulous hat. I really like it. Okay, moving on. I really, really like this doll because she has another outfit that she can wear. Right now she's wearing her coat and her green plaid hat, but see, look, no, not there. She has another hat, and then another dress, another coat, and in here somewhere, which I'm not going to displace Miss Kitty for you to see. Oh, well, maybe I will. Come along, Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty isn't a doll, by the way. She's a stuffed animal. She's a stuffy. Look, she even has little shoes. She has more shoes, little boots, and little stockings. And this is a muff. No, it's a hat. Oh, it's a hat. I think my grandmother crocheted this. I never use it, but anyhow, it belongs in her little drawer. And then this, you can see the handle right there. I can close it up and carry her everywhere. Well, not that I do, because these dolls aren't for playing. I mean, they could be, but I'm not going to play with them, so. This doll is a birthday present from my godmother. She actually got this doll made for me by one of her friends that does a lot of felting. She's a ballerina. Also, she doesn't have a name. What's the famous ballerina? Oh, you know what she looks like? She looks like Posey from Ballet Shoes because of her red hair. Okay, yeah, she's Posey. That's her name now. This doll is another birthday present from my godmother. Her name is Natalie. I like to pretend that she was a passenger on the Underground Railway because she has a warm coat, but it's also too short for her. I just think it's cool. And this is a doll from England. Her name is Elizabeth. Not Elizabeth, Elizabeth. This doll is called Emily, for obvious reasons. She has such a nice floof on her head. And then this is May. I think she's supposed to be a bride because of her fancy headdress and her veil. But I got her from the same antique market that I got Autumn. Just fell in love with her. Also, I only had like one other Asian doll who was Korean, and this one's Chinese, and I'm Chinese, so this is Anne. And I got her from my friend's house because her mom didn't want her anymore. She doesn't have hair all the way around the back. See, look. She just has like this little swatch of red yarn on the top, and if you're not careful, her dress will swirl around because, there we go. Her wings are supposed to cover the fact that she has no hair at the back, but the wings are attached to the dress and not to the peg that is Anne's body. So if you're not careful, you will soon reveal to everyone that she is balding. And because I'm a nice human, I try not to do that because you don't want to hurt dolls' feelings. You just don't. Over here is Clara. She's another ballet doll. She's not turning her feet out either, but it doesn't matter because she's supposed to be standing in sixth position. And she's Clara because she's clearly carrying a candy cane. And that's the quintessential Christmas ballet, Nutcracker. So the original ballet, I think she was called Marie, or is it in the French versions of the ballet? Well, she's going to be called Clara because I live in North America, so deal with it. And then this little knitted one right here, her name's Lizzie, and she was a Christmas present, and I love her because she is just so cute. This is a doll. In Romania, they have this kind of subscription thing where you get a magazine and a doll along with it. And all the dolls are coming from maybe not very, but like movies that are at least famous in Romania, if nowhere else. Yeah, and usually I think the movies are based on books, but they always show the movies in the magazines. I'm really sorry I can't read Romanian because that would be so fascinating because it's not only the movie that they explain like fancy new doll techniques or fancy old doll techniques. Anyhow, this one's supposed to be Emma Woodhouse. I like her Regency style dress. It's pretty nice and accurate. This one is Lady Constance Chatterley, from Lady Chatterley's Lover. That's the book, anyhow. Oh no, poor angel. Well, anyhow, I'll pick her up. Yeah. I like her fancy dress. I'm not sure which period she's supposed to be from. Maybe Edwardian? I don't know. I like knowing about fashion, but I don't have I'm better at pictures. And then this one is actually Millicent Thompson, but at the time I was reading a whole series of books that were okay, but they're not super great, and it's about this girl named Grace Harlow, and they were all called, Grace Harlow's freshman year at high school. And then they went all the way through high school to college, to her, and then it was like Grace Harlow's golden year. It was basically Grace Harlow goes searching for her fiance because her fiance gets himself lost. Yeah, it was nice, but I think she looks like a Grace, so I call her Millicent Grace Thompson. Look at her nice little hat. I really like it. And I like her sleek costume. It's so cute. Now we're going on to another doll I got from England. I found her in a gift shop, and she was just so perfect. Her name is Molly. I love the print on her dress, and she's so adorable. Yeah, I love her very much. This is supposed to be Cece, who is a very famous queen, empress in Austria. I forget which emperor she married. It was really cool. Anyhow, she had really famous, super long chestnut brown hair. I know this is black hair, but her hair was chestnut. And she really loved showing it off. And it was so long and so rich and so curly, and it took an entire day to wash. At least that's what they say. And so she really liked showing it off. So she got this guy to create these beautiful little stars. They were much more fancy in real life. You could buy them, but they were like super expensive. Not them, obviously, but replicas that weren't even made from precious metals. Anyhow, and she wore them in her hair, and she had this really famous golden ball gown. I don't have a picture of her, but my sister does. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Well, anyhow, it was actually a huge controversy because she wasn't supposed to become the empress. It was her older sister. I think her name was Helene, who was supposed to become the empress, but then, the impressionable young emperor saw Cece and fell in love with her. And, that wasn't a very good idea because she may have been very pretty, but she had no clue how to run a country. It's not even, clearly not an empire. And she was the empress of the Austrian... Was it the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, or was it just... I think it was Austrian-Hungary. Well, anyhow. So, yeah, she got kind of... Like, her husband kind of lost interest in her because she wasn't helpful, I think. And then she got pretty depressed, and she got really obsessed with just having faster and faster horses and wearing tighter and tighter clothes. And so one day she was just wandering around some city in Austria. I don't actually remember the details. And then this man stabbed her. And then they took out the dagger, which wasn't smart because it blocked up the wound somewhat. And then she just started bleeding profusely, and then she died. The fairies. The flower fairies, even though not all of them are flowers. This is Holly. This one's a little Hungarian girl. I don't actually know Hungarian names, so she doesn't really have a name. This is Snowflake, for obvious reasons. Who's this one? She's not Brown-Eyed Suzanne. I'll have to identify her flower and then call her name. Here's Rose. Here's Toadstool. We call this one Foxglove because I think those are foxgloves, even if I'm incorrect. This is Button because she's a brown mushroom. And button mushrooms are pretty cute. Strawberry. I love her hat, it's so cute. Autumn the Second. Autumn Jr. They're not related. Forget-me-not. And this one's Brown-Eyed Suzanne, and I dropped one, so I'm gonna have to pick her up. Here we go. Here's Angel. Some of these are my sister's, but my mom put them here, so now they're mine. Traditional Korean doll. She's wearing a hanbok. Apparently she came from Korea, which justified why they charged me so much for her. I don't know, I managed to barter it down, so... Not that I'm very good at bartering. I got my mother to tell me how much would be a good idea to pay for it, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to pay this, and they said, okay, because they wanted to sell her. And then they tried to guilt me into giving them more money by being like, she's a traditional Korean doll, but I didn't. She's a pretty good face. So I don't actually know very many Korean names, so I called her Kim, but that's a last name. So, she's going to be called Yubin now, because that's the only, Korean name that I actually know, for girls. Do you call, in Korea, do you put the first name second, like in China? Is she Kim Yubin? Or is she Yubin Kim? I don't know, anyhow. Um, I name her, but I keep on changing her name. We're going to stick with Evelyn because I think that matches her. Look, she has a little. Oh, don't fall down, please. She keeps on falling down. She has a parasol. I think that's really cute. And this flower belongs. This flower right here. It belongs on her hat, but it keeps on falling off. So we're gonna stick that right there, and hopefully it doesn't fall off now. So the dolls that I didn't show you are primarily my Barbies because those aren't really doll collectibles. I mean, I played with them too much. So now they all look really dirty, basically. Yeah, anyhow. And I probably didn't show you other dolls because I forgot about them because they aren't in my room. They're probably in my sister's room, which is not a good place to put my dolls because her dolls are in my room, and look what happened to them. They became repossessed. So yeah, anyhow, thank you for watching my doll collection, especially if you think dolls are creepy, because I love dolls. I really love dolls. Bye!